They were definitely hiding in the woods. This was a stealth attack. This was not like a holdup, apparently.
Okay, but I mean, this corpse over here is wearing a tie-dyed banner.
Yes, yep.
Yeah, so I'll bring that back to you guys. It's our friend, and
So, I assume all of you guys must have sold back your insider with the Chroma Bandits, huh?
I still have it.
Oh,
you do.
Because I knew we'd come back across this way
And
again.
not once did you identify yourself as a friend.
Well, there was already a fight happening.
Inside.
I don't think we were friends either.
Not friend.
Graf, before you correct me,
yeah,
we had an agreement with the Chroma Bandits that they would not attack us. That's why I said.
And they weren't.
Well, they weren't up to the degree that we attacked them. I'm just saying, words could have ended this fight before it was a fight.
Possibly, but these strangers were under attack, especially the kleptomaniac over there.
Right.
That's what busy hands.
But still, I'm glad that everyone here is safe. Looking
at the corpse back there.
Yeah, looking at the damage to this card, I don't think you'll be able to make your shipment, though.
Am I the only one?
Their prize.
Oh wait, I'm not the only one who took life. I think Dan overkilled somebody earlier. Did you overkill someone with your bare hands?
I punched them in the head and I killed them.
So you're just covered in Fist of the North Star.
Well, to be fair, the guy who kills people with Fist of the North Star, the blood gets all over his back. It'll be all over my front.
Yeah.
He does the 75 pressure points and then walks away, and then they explode behind him. So
that's the advantage of that. Yeah. So you're just dragon edged, whereas I'm
that's right. But I'm barely wearing clothes as it is, so just blood all over my fur.
Yeah. So a terrible business that. Well, I'm sure the doctor can put their souls to rest, right?
Indeed. I really should just buy an actual shovel at some point. But, my hands work just as well.
Yeah, you've got digging.
You're a digger.
Do. I'm a digging species.
You could learn elementalism instead of necromancy.
That is also a possibility. It's been on my mind.
Well, no, you're closer to learning necromancy than you are learning elemental.
Well, we do have some elementalist trappings.
Oh, we do?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right, from the Heliodrome.
Right.
Oh, Connor, you kept some of those. Okay.
Yeah. I also have a water robe, staff, wand, and talisman.
Yeah, we'll have to get back around to that, too. I'll learn all the magic. I'll do it.
It's worth it.
It could be.
It's because you get more gifts to tap, so you don't have to recharge them. It's like blast, blast, blast. Okay, everyone's dead.
You just cycled through everything. I'll be the avatar.
Conversely, as I'm always wanting to say, the Weekend at Bernie's plan, just tie a bunch of rocks together and move Earth and pretend that we have an army of wizards.
I attach a rock on a string to my staff and look, I'm elementalist.
It's all the treason and heresy of necromancy with none of the advantages.
Anyway,
like I said, just fake it. What was it called when you have all the, the puppet on the string? I suddenly can't remember.
Marionettes.
Yeah, marionettes. Control one rock, which is tied to a bunch of other rocks, which are holding the hoods to the robes up.
Silly builds and stuff aside, I will actually go ahead and speak with them after I gather them up in prayer to heal away their wounds, which will also include me because I was wounded slightly.
Gotcha. All right.
However, afterwards, I will go ahead and inquire with them. Well, after this brief bit of prayer, allow me to introduce ourselves. I am the doctor to Sir Connor here. I am a part of his retinue. And it's good that we came across when we could. I believe I did catch a few of your names, but tell us your business.
Kali sighs. She seems to take point. Curry is currently attending to Canuck, but she will introduce everyone in turn. The taciturn Clock is a large wolf of few words. And as I said, Curry and Canuck are currently Canuck is stop babying me, and Curry is how dare you run ahead? What were you thinking? You could have gotten yourself killed. While all of this is happening in the background, Callie looks at you and says, Well, so this is my group. We were in the process of transporting some goods to Three Corners Fort on behalf of the Harrogate nobility. Unfortunately, we found ourselves ambushed. These sneak thieves, well, it looks like they've done some serious damage to our wheels. It will take a while. She gestures to this pit that has been dug and looks like was recently camouflaged with leaves and sticks. The dray seems unhurt, but yeah, the axles of their wagon are crushed. She says, if you don't mind, this our cargo was supposed to be, well, secret. I would appreciate if you would keep this to ourselves. We are, of course, indebted to you for coming to our aid. Might we ask who you are and where you are going?
Oh, I already introduced ourselves, so.
Yeah, you did that, right?
What's your
On your way to
cargo?
Femrouge.
You just look over and it's right there.
It's like it's spilled out, right?
I'm up on a cliff. It's hard to see.
I love it. Yeah, Callie
Use
like
your
narrows her
lemur
eyes
eyes.
to you.
I'm mostly ears.
Mostly ears. She says, well, as I'm sure it's no point trying to hide it now, these guns we've been transporting, and she gestures to it, and it looks like there's definitely enough hardware here, enough muskets to outfit a small army, probably several dozen of these things that have all been sort of bundled. And accompanying black powder as well seems to be stashed in this cart. She says, we don't have much to offer in way of thanks. I suppose we could part with some of these. If the bandits had their way, they'd be lost merchandise in any case.
Yeah. The axle is broken, though. Will you be able to fix that?
Well, she grimaces and looks over to Clock, and Clock grimaces back at her. Doesn't look good.
It may not be safe to stay here. They may have retreated for now, but I suspect they may have actually won the day.
I was
That's a
thinking, like,
fair
well, what
point.
about you, Callie? Don't you have busy hands? Not those kinds of hands.
It's not those kinds of hands. Callie sighs and shakes her head. She says, well, I suppose we have enough time to perhaps load up enough of these guns that maybe we'll be able to hold out for one more. I have half a mind to send Canuck there back and get us some backup, although I suppose they're several days behind the last outpost.
I can't help but think that these guys are the elementary schoolers playing Oregon Trail. They didn't buy any backup axles. They didn't bring any extra oxen. They just spent all their
buckets of
money on
bullets.
guns and ammo.
Guns and
But they
guns.
must.
12 grandfather clocks here.
Yeah.
And Curry has dysentery.
Yep. Well, so here's what I'll say, and you guys have been actually pretty on top of any goals that we pitch. I feel like you guys more often than not will accept them. There's reasons why you may not want to accept this one. They're specifically trying to go to Three Corners Fort.
Right.
But I'm considering a goal of escorting them to Three Corners Fort, or maybe something else if you can convince them of another
Well,
course of
here's the
action.
thing: is that I'm not wanted at Three Corners Fort.
That's a fair point.
So technically, we can,
Got someone.
Plus, also, we just said to escort you to Three Corners, but we're not actually to go into Three Corners.
Very true.
I'm sure Dan could take you the rest of the way, considering that he can explode people like blood sausages, armed with nothing more than his fist.
Yikes! Yeah. Jeez.
So I guess given that, what's their plan with their cargo here and their broken axle?
The
I think
plan
you say that they
seems to
could
be...
carry some of it, but not all of it.
Yeah, I mean, they could. I guess that's true. They could carry some of it on their backs, but they are being hunted.
Were there animals actually not here?
They've got one Dre who is unhurt. Dre is doing fine. It seems like Callie's suggestion is that they arm as many of these muskets as they can and then wait for backup. They'll send one guy to go get backup, and then they'll just hold out here. And Curry believes that their best course of action would just be to grab as many guns as they could carry and press forward.
I do agree.
We've got our wagon. We could just load the guns in our wagon.
That's true.
So where is is only one axle's broken? Or
Yeah.
is the
It's just
back
the
one or the
front
front
one.
one? Oh, never. Well,
Yeah.
say, what if you put all the weight on the back of the wagon and just try to counterbalance?
They're still short
Try
an
to
animal.
lift it.
Oh, are they?
No, they've got an animal. They're good.
Oh, okay.
They've got one.
Well, I also remember we were also talking about how crappy these axles really. We could just load it in our war wagon. Actually has spots for guns. It's a war.
Right, but that also
Sure.
implies that the war wagon would then drive to Three Corners Fort, and they might recognize the war wagon.
They could
We could
impound
unload
another vehicle of Sir Connor's.
We could unload the war wagon, and when we get closer to Three Corners Fort, I mean, remember this is a busy road. If we get closer, they might run into people who would be happy to help them, or their coaching services. They could even go to Three Corners Fort and hire a coach. I believe there's one up there for auction right now, and use that to come get the guns if they can take it. The important thing is we can't stay here because the Chroma bandits might come back because they know the wagon's disabled. So they are eventually going to come back, I think. They may not want to engage us, but they probably want the wagon.
Precisely.
And also, how numerous were they? I mean, Doctor, you have a keen insight into the criminal mind. What do you remember about these bandits?
Well, given that they're from here all the way down to the river crossing, I would assume that the numbers are numerous and spread throughout the entire region. Last time we encountered them, they had maybe about as many or twice. And if there's such a thing every single day, well, that'd be at least, 50 to 100?
Yeah, I mean, normally, they might just blow us off, but they know this is a big score. So we should just take the score. I vote that we just load the score in the wagon and just go. At least if we can get some distance from here, we don't necessarily have to go all the way to Three Corners. And we are going that way anyway. What kind of people would we be if we weren't going to help?
What was the proposed goal again?
Pro's goal was
okay. Go ahead.
Escort them and let's say them and their goods to Three Corners Fort.
Yeah.
Or
we
we
don't have
could
to do it
say
just for experience part rewards. We could just do it because it's the right thing to do.
I don't know what you're talking about, crazy.
What?
I only do things because I have a personal vested interest.
I will pull Sir Connor aside after a bit, though. Sir Connor, might I have a moment?
Of course.
As I understand it, these guns are going to Three Corners Fort, and if the last I recall, they didn't quite like you nor your family, nor, in fact, I believe perhaps all of the Overdepoir. And as we had already discovered previously, there's been some instigation of events by Triskellion between the Overdepoir and the Dolaroo. Would it truly be wise for you to do this?
Given the action to take against my family, I think it might be wise for us to confiscate these guns.
Well, I mean, I would not insist on anything such as highway robbery, but I believe that they are in a position where they do need help, and you could negotiate it perhaps to your family's benefit. I mean, it's quite a lot of weaponry. And I'll lean in, it's like, that's a lot of money. Salted your own allies, protect strangers in order to rob one. Yeah.
I'm saying, in the logic of the situation, of which Dan knows nothing about, Big Willie is going crazy.
Yes. But Sir Connor, if you are willing, I will support you if you would like to help them renegotiate their current contract. You have the ability to offer them what this contract is worth.
Yes, my family can certainly pay for these guns.
And we can certainly go around Three Corners Fort too.
Say that again, out of character? What was that?
We could also go around Three Corners Fort as well.
Yes. So let's see if these fine people are so beholden to the letter of the contract or not.
Very well then. I will back you up. However, I will be right back myself.
Good. Now he's
Okay.
gone. Let's convince Connor so we can get an XP reward.
Okay, so what is it that you're trying to ask of Callie? She seems to be the leader of this group.
Basically, hey, let's not sell these guns to Triskellion. You know, they're a bunch of heathenists. Let's sell them to some real warriors with the Evan of Paw. They'll make some good use of them.
She looks at you sideways, and she considers it. She says, truth be told, and I shouldn't be telling you this much, these guns were part of a payment for services rendered. They would be expecting these at Triskellion, and it is not so much a matter of money. But then she seems to consider and says, on the other hand, if you were willing to pay, there's nothing that says we weren't successfully robbed here on the road. And in which case, I'm sure Triskellion will get their guns one way or the other. It's just a matter of them waiting. If there was something, I guess it would depend on what you were offering.
I would, of course, offer a fair market price for these fine armaments. Plus, it'll take a look at them. Are they or at least engraved or etched or somewhat artistically adorned?
No, these things look like mass-produced. They're definitely, I mean, if you had to guess, they were probably created in a hurry and in bulk. They seem like they fire okay, as far as you know, based on what you saw
Yeah,
of
they
them.
seem sturdy enough, just they're not pretty.
They're not particularly pretty.
Just a reminder: has Connor's wealth ever refreshed? In a while now.
It refreshed when you guys
I
came
bought
back
some
to Heritage.
clothes, so I'm planning on hoisting this.
Yeah, we
purchase
spent
off on my family.
we spent a lot of ridiculous finery on your girls' party.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So we're dealing with the money you have on hand then.
Yeah,
Because I'm just checking. A musket is 90 dinar. It's
yeah, and I'm also guessing that these aren't even complete muskets. They probably either the springs probably have been put in them because you're shipping them. You're not,
Yeah.
right. So I'm assuming that the muskets are over here, the springs are over here, and the keys are over here.
I'm just indicating it's not an inexpensive venture to try and buy them out.
I was hoping to work with credit and get them to let us take them to
tap nobility.
Not
Right?
Tap nobility, you said?
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what you're indicating, right? That I'm a noble. I'm good for it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, just
I can
come to
see that.
Avatar domain, and cash the check. I'll just write you a note. I owe you this much money, and then when you show up, I'll give it to you. Of course, I could also use nobility to just blow you off and not give it to you, but
I can't wait till we get back to Connor's home and his family's like standing in paupers out in the street because Connor has bankrupted them. Connor, you're going to be forcibly resell your wealth gift. Your family is angry at you.
Look, I can't be the only person here who watches Spice and Wolf, right?
I only got into the first 3 episodes because then also, was it Demon Hero? Mayuya was coming out at the same time. Same creators.
Okay, yeah, Spice and Wolf is like the world's most boring anime, and I love it.
Interesting.
It's like all medieval economics. It's like, oh yeah, I found this wolf goddess or whatever. By the way, now that we've lured you in with this, let's talk about medieval economics.
I mean, again, you say that Mayuya, same creators, big arc about crop rotations. So
in fact, yeah, I'm sorry, you're right. Mayuya is out. It's even more boring.
There's a whole anime about just a little girl making books.
I
So-
love that one.
No, I'm not saying it's bad. It definitely looks good
No,
and
no.
cute. I'm just saying it does exist.
The ones about economics are my favorite. It's like,
Mhm.
yes, economic, yes. Tell me how your medieval trade organizations work and how you prevent from getting ripped off and you have to work with 13 different currencies. I must know.
I mean, I was thrown out there. I can't remember the name of the
Interesting.
RPG, but there's the one that deals with inflation in towns when your adventuring party comes back with more money than exists
Oh,
in the
gosh.
entire town.
Hmm.
Really, the future of RPGs is less fun. I think fun is like very 20th century.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
have my spreadsheets ready for it.
I
There
just
we go.
I love the depth. That's all. It's like, okay, you guys thought you were amazing because you cleared the dungeon. Let's think about the economic repercussions you're going to have on the surrounding countryside. People are going to start starving because they can't afford the now 20 gold bread.
Excellent destabilize. Well, so let's, like I said, my suggestion is your wagon shot. Let's load it in our wagon. Take you most of the way there. You can figure something else out. I'm assuming these people don't have cash on them.
Right.
No, not a lot.
And Sir Connor is suggesting that they go around it and go with him, right?
Yeah, let's just go.
Yes.
I mean, we have a war wagon. It's right here.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, this is the negotiation part, I think.
This is the negotiation part, and they've expressed that they actually are not being paid. The guns themselves are actually payment for some sort of agreement between the Bisclevre and the Rinaldi. So, but also it seems like she's willing to take a bribe if the price is right. But this is kind of a tricky situation.
What
So
do
if
you
you're
mean,
willing to
Rinaldi?
roll
He's
for it,
going to pay, or have his family pay some extra costs for the convenience of delivery. I
yeah,
guess we would call it a.
this
Guns
is
are pretty expensive, so like maybe a
Mhm.
5% markup would make a good bribe.
Yeah, it also helps that their other options are probably be killed in the woods in the next couple of days. But the situation is also a little bit politically fraught. So I do think I would want a roll from Connor. Basically that is suggesting that he is good for it and that yeah, and that this is something that they could get away with if they did decide to help you out and give you guys these guns instead of giving them to the Rinaldi.
All right, I will assist Sir Connor because the woods are incredibly dangerous. I can tell you personally exactly how dangerous they are. We really ought not to mull over the deal too long. You should take it at face value, obviously.
I
Don't
like
get
it.
me
That looks like a
started
success.
on this Shade's Tale. There's a
I
dead king wandering around here somewhere.
yeah,
Wouldn't
not
want to run into
far
that
from
ghost.
here.
Quite literally on this road.
I'm specialized in annihilating ghosts now.
I mean, Harmon had that ammo specifically for taking out ghosts. Never
Gosh.
got to use it.
Red, just how far away are we from the main plot?
Oh, what main
If
plot?
we had
What?
What
a,
main plot?
I don't think we've had a. Wait, have I used my personality recently? Let me check.
I don't think so. You didn't use it in the fight, right? So
No.
Someone
you-
used, I
you
think
have it, it's a
Anushka
new
used
day.
hers.
All right, then I'll use it now. Because I'm basically asking them to rip off the Rinaldi. That's pretty brazen.
wow, even tapped nobility for nothing. Wow.
Mm,
Hey,
oh,
rip off
Jeez.
again.
Am
Rinaldi
I dealing with
Jakoba.
one?
Reroll.
Can you re-roll?
I believe I'm dealing with a woman.
You are, so you do have your favorite use.
Hey,
Yeah.
there you go.
There you go. Okay.
It's still ones, damn it.
It's still all ones.
Double ones, the
It's
worst
okay. These ones are
results.
good. These are good ones. All right. So I was looking for 3 successes. I see 2. Am I missing anything here? I see 2 successes. Okay.
Yeah,
I
the assist is already there.
I could
Yep.
only suggest adding in the D12 wealth anyway because he is in fact good and has the money somewhere, just not here right now. As part of the negotiation. It does exist. It is real.
I mean,
Is
nobility
real.
and wealth could help with the negotiation. Nobility, I have a bloodline that vouches for me. Avatar, I'm not just some random
He
Yahoo.
already used nobility and it failed him.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
So-
right. But also, wealth would be, you can see by the way I walk. I'm a woman's man. No, wait. You can see by the way I walk that, the way I'm dressed and finery that I am good for it and have wealth. I mean, that might persuade them that you are not just some random Yahoo off the street.
Right. Additionally, do you still have the knack for negotiation? You should have gotten that as a gift before, right?
I believe I do. Let me check.
You could re-roll if you really wanted to.
I keep forgetting I have. I
You
do have
might
an
as
actual
well.
negotiation.
It's a once per day thing.
Well, this is
Okay.
a
You have to
different
re-roll
match.
everything.
Yeah.
You'd have to
So,
re-roll it all, but you
So
can do that.
you're saying no to the D12 wealth, correct?
Pardon?
It feels a little redundant, I think,
Fair enough.
between nobility and wealth right now.
Right.
You
So
also
our
have a
option is
lot of
re-roll.
dice here already, all things
We do.
considered. So I think it's within your power to pull this off. There you
1,
go.
2, 3, 4. There you go. The reroll pulls off.
For a minute, it seems like Callie is willing to take her chances with the bandits, but you express upon her just all of the risks involved. And Doctor, you weigh in on this too. And it is actually Curry who caves and says, "We didn't sign up to get killed. My boy almost died out there on the road. Are you really willing to risk our lives for this foolish errand? They'll just send more guns later. It's not worth dying over." And this seems to sway Callie. She says, "Fine, we have an agreement. If you can escort us to your lands safely, then the guns are yours. Also on the condition that no one west of of Three Corners ever hears of this. As far as anyone is concerned, we were robbed and were released with our lives."
Not a word.
Neither east nor west shall hear wind of this.
Would it make you feel better if we robbed you?
Well, I can make Canuck here actually feel better. Give me one moment. Canuck, we've already established that you're pious. Why don't you roll will and piety for me? You might really need to. Oh,
And
that
that's a
actually will
success.
do it. You will be cured of your injury.
Hey.
Holy crap! You could never pull that off with me.
Well, you haven't read page 4 of the chapbook here, which says that after giving yourself up to Salamare and accepting the light in your heart, my healing becomes better.
Isn't that
My
only
heart-
one success?
My heart can never know the light as I am weighed down by the burden of every life I have taken and every death that I have seen.
That's what drinking's for. Here, this is the chapbook on orchimancy. It's okay. It's all good.
Time's
It's
up.
just a recipe for cocktails.
I scribbled those in myself.
Nice. Call this one Alumare Sunrise. It's tequila and orange. Anyway. The all right. Canuck feels surprisingly better, and Curie is grateful to you, Father. Is this one success? What do you need for this spell that you're using?
The 3 and 4 are oppositional. You might actually be right. Here, I'm just gonna roll my personality so we don't have to back. There we go. Works.
Okay.
Bam. Personality's thrown in.
What's the gift that gives you an extra favorite use?
Extra
Extra
favorite
favorite
use.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes they just hit you in the head, don't they?
Yep.
That might be worth something so you can extra favorite use healing since you use it all the time.
At the same time, what am I actually rolling here? This is yeah, that's like a will and I think leadership. And my leadership's already wait, my leadership's with believers. I could just reroll that D8, I guess. Doesn't matter. Moving on.
Okay. So yeah, the wolves seem like this is probably their best option. Clock doesn't seem happy with the arrangement, but apparently he takes orders well, and he will begin to help the rest of them load their guns onto your war wagon. It doesn't take very long, and soon you're back on the road. You navigate around the trap ditch, and and you make your way further east. Let's see how far you get. All right. So
we only need to get them into Avatapah territory to accomplish what we need to accomplish.
we should probably figure this out.
Because we were still heading to Harmono, weren't we?
That is true, right?
Yeah, that is the idea.
Yeah, the terms of
but
the goal
Once we
have
cross
changed.
this region, then we're probably in Avanapah territory.
Yep. Okay. So we're gonna say get Callie's group safely to the Vordepois
Keep
territory,
Callie safe.
to an Vordepois stronghold or city, right?
Mhm.
Okay. Cool. And your plan is to head up to this monastery to cut around Three Corners Fort, or to take. Well, we decided you guys wouldn't really be able to take a boat because you're going overland, right?
Right,
It's,
because we want the cart.
Oh,
It's
I
the
thought
war
we were
wagon.
already on this road down here where the Chromos operate.
I know they're pushing a little bit north, but yeah. How do you guys want to proceed here? It's your call.
It sounds like, yeah, we did want to do this.
Well, there should be a ferry right at that point.
Indeed. Yep.
Yeah, that
Was
seems like a
before.
better crossing than this region
So,
here.
if there's a ferry, yeah, we could just try crossing straight across here.
Well, no, he was pointing right here.
Yeah, he was pointing
Remember
there,
the ferry
but
that
that's
we
also...
had to get escorted across before?
Yeah. I guess that's assuming that the monastery there has any sort of transport across the river.
Well, you remember the monastery is sitting on the top of a cliff, as described by Raph before.
Yeah.
I think it's
mean,
at
there
the
could be
There's
base
a
of the
people living
mountain
cliff.
down on the
cliff
cliff.
area right there, and it's on top of the cliff, and then this river delta thing here is actually a split in a mountain.
So I think you're mostly right there. I think it's at the base of the cliff, based on what I just read.
Don't look at me. I'm literally just repeating what Raph said, as I do 60% of the time.
Well, Raph, I think you're wrong.
The other 40% is argument.
Yeah.
As follows. League West is home, etc. Monastery believed. Walls protects the herb garden residence.
I've never actually read the description of the monastery, so.
You know, I could be wrong. It might be at the top. I don't think it says. It mentions that they have a ladder. They made sort of like a peg ladder up the side of the palisades that they guard, and that they will allow people to use if they want to climb it, as long as they're willing to make a donation to the monastery. Which made me think that it was at the bottom, but it probably would make more sense to build it at the top.
Oh, I love that complex series of interaction. Hey, I've got this little basket with like a rope attached to it. I'll lower it down so you can pay us a fee, and then you can climb up the peg wall that we've made. Also, that rope basket's the only way that we get supplies up here, so don't break it when I lower it to you.
You leave that part out. I don't want to give people ideas, but
Hey, you look a little bit chapped. There's a bit of a lotion in that basket.
ugh. Or else it gets the hose.
From the well water.
So, Sir Connor, what's your plan?
I'd say the smart path here would be our best bet. Allow us to skip the fort and stay within Avatapah Lane. It will take us right to our destination.
Then we have our plan.
I'm sorry, I heard the words, but they lacked any meaning. What was the plan?
Did you mean the Doloro land?
I'm sorry, I meant that out of character, too. I heard every word spoken, but put together, I did not understand if it was Plan A or Plan B.
So what is Plan A and what is Plan B? And I will just make a
Plan A
decision.
was the one that Griff and I both independently drew on the map to go across the Via Salatis Road and then just head up and around Three Corners to Hunat and then to Harmono. Plan B, as I assumed it, was to ford the river and head into Doloro lands.
Plan A is my
Plan
idea.
A. Alrighty.
It's
I like
also worth noting that to the Doloro in general, we're still wanted people.
I have a Plan C now.
Just one family that, hey, I'm down for hitting the Isle of Avrak. There's a bunch of spiders there I wouldn't mind punching.
Okay. Here's what I want to do. All right, we're gonna continue down the Via Salutis. It sounds like, right? And we got about less than an hour of game time, but I do want to ask for another short break. This one not as long as the last break, but short break.
Okay, short break.
I'll be right back.
Break time.
Thank you, guys.